That is broken with the Hello and welcome to Group 2's Electroscope Experimenting. Here we will be seeing and discussing charging the electroscope through induction and contact. Let's move straight into it by looking at what the electroscope is made of. The electroscope is made with aluminum and copper wires, allowing free movement of electrons from charged objects. Now let's discuss how charging works. First, by induction. When a positively charged object comes near the electroscope, it attracts the electrons present in the terminal and the leaves. Because the terminal will gain more electrons, it will become negatively charged. On the other hand, the leaves will lose electrons and will both become positively charged. Similarly, when a negatively charged body is brought near the electroscope, it repels the electrons in the terminal towards the aluminum foil leaves, leaving the terminal positively charged while the leaves become negatively charged. In both cases, the leaves will diverge because they have the same charge, following the first law of electrostatics, which states that like charges repel and opposite charges attract. As you can see in the video, when a charged object is placed near the terminal, the leaves diverge, but collapse once the object is brought away. Why is that? That's because electrons are only momentarily moved to a location in the electroscope, and when the charged object is brought away, the electrons return to their neutral state, as it always tries to be in equilibrium. When charging through induction with a negatively charged material, the electrons move down to the leaves, leaving the terminal positively charged. Once the terminal is touched, the electrons from the leaves move to the finger and get grounded. This leaves the electroscope positively charged because most of the electrons have moved to the finger, keeping the leaves diverged because they still have the same positive charge. The same happens with a positively charged object. The electrons just travel from the terminal to the finger instead of from the leaves to the finger. To charge by contact, the charged material touches the electroscope, making the leaves diverge even after it is removed. When the object is negatively charged, it repels the electrons from the terminal down to the leaves, making the leaves have excess electrons. When the object is positively charged, it attracts the electrons from the leaves and makes them positively charged. In both cases, the two leaves will have like charges and will repel each other, and because of that, they will diverge. The leaves stay diverged because the electrons travel. When a positively charged balloon is used, the electrons travel from the leaves and the terminal to the balloon, making it electron deficient. When the balloon is negatively charged, the electrons travel from the balloon to the electroscope, giving it excess electrons. Electrostatic induction and conduction have a very simple difference. In induction, the charged material never fully touches the electroscope, making the leaves collapse once the material is brought away, because no electrons were actually transferred. Conduction, on the other hand, involves bringing the charged material in direct contact with the terminal, allowing for electron transfer. The first law of electrostatics states that like charges repel, while opposite charges attract. Following this principle, a simple testing procedure can be conducted using a string and a balloon to determine the charge of an object. In this test, the object will be hung using the string so that it can move easily. The balloon will then be rubbed against a material with a lower electron affinity than the balloon, so that it can gain electrons and be negatively charged. The charged balloon will be placed near the hanging object to see if it will either move towards or away from the balloon. If it moves away, its charge is negative, and if it moves closer to the balloon, its charge is positive. If the object is uncharged, then it will remain in its original position. And thank you for coming with me and Group 2 in our journey experimenting with the electroscope. Thank you, and we hope to see you again. Goodbye.